Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw. I'm here again at the Australia Marketplace in Los Angeles. It's the first live Australia Marketplace since 2019. I'm here with Chris Allison, who's the Vice President Americas for Tourism Australia. And we've talked to Chris in the past by Zoom. This is the first time he and I have actually met for quite some time. So we're going to talk about this event and what Australia is doing today in terms in the market. And you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Chris, first of all, great to see you live.
Exactly. We were just saying before, this is the first time we've done many of these via Zoom, but it's the first one in person, so it's good.
Although there are problems to that. Zoom doesn't break. Sometimes the camera does, sadly. But let's talk about this Australia Marketplace first. What's the significance of having this back?
Yeah, Australia Marketplace is a really important event for us. We, pre-pandemic, we would hold this event annually, not just in North America, but in many of our other core international markets as well, like the UK and Europe, China, Japan, Indonesia. So we haven't had this event here in North America since August 2019. So this isn't just the first marketplace back in North America. It's actually the first marketplace for Tourism Australia of anywhere in the world.
This is one of your biggest markets.
It absolutely is, yeah. So we've got a really awesome, engaged audience delegation with us for the next couple of days. We have 107 tourism operators and experiences have flown up from Australia to be with us, and then we've got 102 buyer delegates from across North America here to meet with those guys too. So
that's great. No, and it's been an awesome show. And of course, you actually did have your Australia Tourism Exchange earlier this year. I forget where it was, but it was.
So ATE this year was in Sydney.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but that was a smaller event as you got back into it, because Australia's been open since probably February, right?
Yeah. So we opened back in February, back on the 21st of February, and since then we've seen a really steady increase in demand. I think initial waves of demand were driven by VFR, of course, people wanting to get back and connect with friends and family. But laterally we've seen that demand profile shift to be much more traditional leisure customer. Right. But I think also just with the issues of supply and demand at the moment, the demand really is coming more from the high-end luxury clients, which is
you were aiming for that market too, because it's a very lucrative market for you. Now, what have you been doing in terms of marketing campaigns? You had a campaign, and I think you're about ready to launch another one in October, right?
That's right. So we've been doing, since we opened, pre our opening, we had been doing a lot of work in terms of making sure that we were ready for that time, getting all of our partnership plans in place, making sure that we were educating the advisor networks around Australia. So when we got to that milestone in February of being open again, we were able to deploy a significant amount of activity. So in the consumer space, we deployed this campaign called Don't Go Small, Go Australia. So that's designed really to tap into the notion that we know now people have the appetite to travel long haul again, cross the ocean again. We've all spent a lot of time in the last couple of years traveling domestically, Caribbean, Mexico, and we know people have a huge pent-up demand to travel and reevaluate their bucket list destinations and do them now. So the Don't Go Small, Go Australia is designed.
Also COVID, I think, made a lot of people thinking, well, I am going to go to the places that I wanted to go. Finally, for years, Australia has been this kind of place, aspirational place, and now, hey, why not do it?
That's right, absolutely. So that's been going very well for us. We've also been doing a ton of partner initiatives. So we've been working with our wholesale network. We've been doing a lot of work with our airlines to stimulate demand. So we've been working with Qantas, American, Air Canada in Canada. So a huge amount of activity. And I think it's that all has helped us to really have a really strong recovery so far. We see that our demand indicators show that demand is back around 63% of pre-COVID levels already, which is good. And then we also look to our aviation partners in terms of how they're restoring their capacity as well. So right now we have 52% of aviation capacity back. By the end of this year, we'll be at 79% of pre-COVID levels, which is a really strong return.
And you're also seeing people coming back in the market in terms of Qantas putting in new flights, United putting in new flights are coming to come. So you've got a lot of stuff coming in.
That's right, yeah. So we're seeing, it's not just about the old stuff recovering, it's about new opportunities as well. So, we'll see Qantas fly for the first time this year from Dallas to Melbourne non-stop from December. And then also United flying from Brisbane for the first time. So they'll be flying from San Francisco to Brisbane for the first time from December this year.
In Brisbane, I was there when they announced it, and it was overjoyed that this is finally going to happen. Now, you got another big marketing campaign you can't tell me much about in October. You said it's going to be an interesting one, right?
Yeah, so we're working really hard behind the scenes at the moment. So what we've been doing at the moment is really trying to mop up latent demand in terms of our activity, but later this year we'll start shifting into more broader demand generation, building consideration for Australia, not just for the short term but for the mid and long term as well. So we're working hard behind the scenes at the moment on a new marketing platform for us, which will be an evolution of this Nothing Like Australia. It's going to be around the notion of we're ready to invite the world back to Australia again and encourage everyone to come down and say good day.
That's great. Now, and then you also are sort of focusing on certain states. I know you said California, Texas, and New York, with a little bit of Florida for the coming year, where you get a lot of business, right?
That's right. So we've took the opportunity to really evaluate our source markets in the US and understand, where can we make the biggest impact in terms of not just consideration for Australia, but where we see the most immediate opportunity for customers to convert, and it is across those three markets. So we will be continuing our broad approach in this market from an audience perspective, but we will have a heightened focus in those three core states for us.
No, that's great. And then in terms of the travel advisors, you have your famed Aussie Specialist program, which everybody knows about, but you're going to make a concerted effort, what I heard from you yesterday, to increase that by 800 Aussie Specialists, right?
That's right. So we have a pool of 3,600 qualified Aussie specialists at the moment across the US and Canada. As everyone will know, we've seen a lot of movement across the industry. People have left the industry, take other careers, but we're also seeing a wave of new people coming into the industry as well. So, our role through the Aussie Specialist platform is to continue to engage with our existing Aussie specialists, but also we have a great opportunity to educate new advisors coming into the industry about all the wonderful things that we have to offer in Australia. So as you said, we have a target to grow our qualified Aussie specialists by 800 this year from across North America.
And I've met a lot of them. They're great. They're enthusiastic. I travel with them. You have a woman named Amanda who's sort of become your showpiece and she was down there, one of your ambassadors. She's great, and it really is a great way to learn. It was one of the first training courses around, I believe. When Aussie Specialist has been around forever, but you're really rejuvenating that and really ramping that up, right?
That's right. So as you say, our Aussie Specialist program is, I think it was, if not is, one of the first training programs that was developed, 25 years ago or 30 years ago, whenever it was, and it still holds true today. We spent a lot of time last year revamping the program, so we relaunched it back in October last year to provide new training opportunities, new pathways through the program depending on your specialism. We have a new incentive program in there as well for people to engage with us. So there's a whole range of awesome stuff in there too.
That's great. Anything else you wanted to go out to our 105,000 travel advisors in terms of what you're doing? I
don't think so. Just a big, we recognise that everyone's really busy out there at the moment selling, getting back to selling, which is really exciting. So we just again thank everyone for their support in the last couple of years, and we're excited. Our operators here and back in Australia are ready to welcome guests back again. So please support us and please sell us.
And where can travel advisors go to get information about the Aussie Specialist program as well as Tourism Australia?
Best place is aussiespecialist.com.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side, Tourism Australia or Australia.com?
So Australia.com from the customer side, yeah.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Chris, great to see you live here. Congratulations on this show. And it looks like things are really picking up for Australia, and I think a lot more Americans are going to go very soon.
So, yeah, thank you so much, James. Appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.